Okay, so today we're diving into something that's gained a lot of traction globally,
Hmm.
the whole philosophy behind the 5 a.m. club.
Right.
And I think for most people, you hear 5 a.m. and you just, you know, groan internally.
Yeah, the alarm clock thought.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But the sources we looked at, they frame this as way, way more than just setting an early alarm. It's presented as like a full system for designing your life.
It really is a kind of overhaul.
Yeah, an overhaul for anyone feeling, overwhelmed by distraction, wanting to get time back and maybe find a bit more clarity and strength.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit because you're right. It's not just about the time on the clock. That raises a really important question. What's supposedly so special, so powerful about those really early morning hours? Our sources are pretty clear that, yeah, 5 a.m. is the how, the implementation, but the philosophy itself is really about intentional life design.
Intentional, okay.
Yeah, leveraging that quiet time to fundamentally change how you operate mentally and physically so that things like growth and focus, they become, well, almost automatic.
Instead of something you try to squeeze in at the end of the day.
Exactly. Not an afterthought between emails and meetings.
So the core argument, it seems really simple on the surface. Waking up at 5 a.m. gives you access to what the book calls sacred time.
Sacred time, right.
It's this kind of protected window when, most of the world is still asleep, still offline.
Uh-huh.
And it lets you proactively build yourself up before the day starts, throwing things at you. Emails, notifications, demands.
Like building armor before the battle starts.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And that isolation, that quiet, it's psychologically pretty significant. The material points out that at 5 a.m., your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles decision-making and focus,
Right.
it's fresh. It's free from what they call cognitive load.
So less cluttered.
Much less cluttered. And because of that, your willpower is naturally at its peak for the day.
Okay, that makes sense.
And crucially, your emotional energy hasn't been sort of drained yet by daily pressures or little annoyances or disappointments.
You're starting fresh.
You're starting from a biological high point, essentially. And that state lets you make much better, higher quality decisions about how you're actually going to spend the next 16 or so hours.
Okay, but here's a question I kept thinking about. What about our natural biology?
Yeah.
We hear all this stuff about chronotypes, morning larks, night owls.
Right, the science of sleep timing.
Yeah. Does the philosophy kind of ignore that? Or does it suggest that 5 a.m. might actually be, well, counterproductive for some people? Is that 5 a.m. rule like set in stone?
That's the critical point, isn't it? And it's a fair question. So the sources definitely champion 5 a.m. as the ideal.
The gold standard.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it practically guarantees silence and it comes before the typical workday kicks off for most people. But the real concept behind it is what they call the victory hour.
The victory hour.
Which is that first 60 minutes of your day, whenever it starts, dedicated only to self-improvement.
So it's the principle, not the exact time.
Exactly. If your life, your schedule genuinely means your sacred time has to be, say, 6 a.m. or even later, the principle still works. But 5 a.m. is pushed because it's the most, let's say, aggressive defense against modern distraction.
It forces the issue.
It really does. It's about carving out that protected, non-negotiable time for creating, not just reacting to whatever pops up.
That distinction helps a lot. The time slot is a tool for the isolation, not
Right.
necessarily rigid law.
Okay.
Okay, so starting the day strong biologically and psychologically makes sense. But, theory is one thing, daily practice is another.
Right.
You can't just sit there in the dark for an hour and expect magic to happen,
Yeah.
right? You need structure.
Absolutely. And that's where it connects to the practical side.
Okay, yeah, here's where it gets really interesting, I thought. Because the philosophy gives you this very practical toolkit for that sacred hour. The 20-20-20 formula.
The 2020.
It breaks down that hour into three very distinct, very intentional 20-minute blocks.
And the sequence is really important here. The first 20 minutes. Movement.
Movement,
Yeah.
like exercise.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be, running a marathon first thing. It's about intense early exercise designed to wake up the body fast and trigger chemical changes.
What kind of changes?
Well, the sources really emphasize releasing neurochemicals, things like endorphins, obviously, but also reducing stress hormones like cortisol, and importantly, boosting BDNF,
BDNF.
brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's crucial for memory, learning, overall brain health. So it's like a physical reboot that gets your brain ready for the next two stages.
So you've got to get the body moving before you try to do the mental work. Why is that order so critical? Why not just start meditating or journaling?
Good question. The thinking is you need to sweat out the stress, the physical grogginess, before you can actually achieve real mental clarity.
Oh,
If you jump straight into reflection, you're basically bringing all the mental clutter and sluggishness from sleep with you. By moving first, intensely, you're literally moving the stress out, getting oxygen to the brain, and maximizing your ability to focus before you ask your mind to do difficult things like plan or think deeply.
got it. Move first, think second. So after that physical reboot, the next 20 minutes are for reflection.
Right, reflection.
And this is where you actually forge the clarity for the day. It involves specific things, right? Not just daydreaming, like journaling, meditation, maybe deep breathing, planning.
Absolutely specific. During this reflection block, the goal is proactive clarity, not just passive thinking.
So what would that look like?
It could be, say, gratitude journaling to set your emotional baseline, or maybe mapping out your top 3 priorities for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Often this time is used to align your day's strategy with your core values, making sure you're working on your most important goals, not just reacting to whatever emails land first.
So it takes the good feeling from the movement part
Yeah,
and translates it into knowing what you actually need to do.
precisely.
Yeah.
Feeling good becomes knowing the plan.
Okay. And then the final 20 minutes, that's the investment phase. Learning,
Yes, learning.
a non-negotiable commitment to growth. Reading, studying, maybe listening to educational stuff. This part seems really tied to that compound effect the sources talk about.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly right. Just think about it compounding, like you said. 1 hour of focused learning a day, maybe 5 days a week, that's 5 solid hours weekly.
Which adds up fast.
Over a year, that's 250 hours purely dedicated to getting smarter, learning new skills. Imagine that advantage.
Wow, yeah.
That kind of consistent input, it multiplies your discipline, deepens your expertise, and boosts your creativity way beyond people who are just, scrolling through news feeds first thing.
It's how those small daily wins build up into real mastery over the long haul.
Exactly. Small hinges swing big boars over time.
Okay, so the 20-20-20 formula gives you the how-to for the morning routine. But the philosophy goes deeper, warning that just being productive isn't enough, right? Disciplined action without balance can lead to burnout.
That's a huge part of it.
The sources argue that real, sustainable greatness needs you to nurture 4 different areas of your life. They call them the 4 interior empires.
The 4 interior empires. And the warning is pretty stark. If you let even one of these crumble, the whole structure eventually fails. The goal is to harmonize them, to become, as they put it, unstoppable.
Okay, let's break those down. First is the mindset empire.
Yeah.
Beliefs, thoughts, perspective. This sounds like where you cultivate that ambition and self-belief you need for big goals.
Correct, your psychological framework. But here's the interesting tension. You need that mindset empire for drive, absolutely. But then you need the second empire, the heart set empire, to make sure success doesn't hollow you out.
Heart set. So emotions.
Exactly, your emotional life. Cultivating resilience, sure, but also things like forgiveness, compassion, gratitude. The philosophy really stresses that tons of people hit their goals, but they lose their inner peace along the way.
They become successful but miserable.
Right. Heart set is supposed to be the safeguard against that. Ensuring achievement comes with inner harmony.
That definitely adds a layer of sophistication beyond just productivity hacks. It's about the quality of success. Okay,
Yeah.
where does the physical body fit back in?
That's the health set empire. Physical vitality, strength, energy. The movement segment kicks this off daily, but health set is the bigger, long-term commitment to stamina.
Mm-hmm.
And the sources are really blunt here. Big dreams just stay dreams if you don't have the physical energy to chase them down year after year. Health is the fuel.
No fuel, no journey. Makes sense. And the last one, the deepest one maybe, the soul set empire.
Soul set, yeah.
This one often sounds a bit abstract. How do you practically work on your connection to something greater in that morning hour?
Well, soul set is about living with meaning, purpose, and maybe most importantly, integrity. So practically within that 20-minute reflection block, working on your soul set could mean specifically planning how your work or success will contribute to others.
Okay, like service.
Service, contribution, legacy. Or it could be deeper meditation focused on connecting with your core values, your why. It's what fuels your motivation when things get tough because your actions are tied to something bigger than just, making money or getting praise.
Got it.
When all 4, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, are working together, synchronized, then you have that truly balanced, powerful engine for life.
And this whole framework, It seems designed specifically for the world we live in now.
It really does. If you connect all these dots back to modern life, the whole philosophy feels like a necessary defense mechanism against, well, the economy of distraction we're all swimming in.
Economy of distraction, I like that.
The material basically says the central fight of our time is against constant noise, constant stimulation, mostly from technology. Sharma explicitly warns that attention has become the new currency.
Attention is the new currency.
And the
Well,
critical part is, whoever controls your attention ultimately controls your time, your focus, your productivity, your life, essentially.
it's kind of terrifying when you put it like that. So if attention is currency, then our phones, social media, news alerts, they're all designed to basically drain our account the second we wake up.
Pretty much, yeah. They're engineered for it.
So waking up early, doing this 5 a.m. routine, it's like taking control of your finances. Financial sovereignty over your attention currency.
That's a perfect analogy. The 5 a.m. habit lets you consciously invest your most valuable asset, your focused attention, into strengthening those 4 inner empires before the outside world starts demanding payments from you.
You set your own agenda first.
You create your agenda instead of just reacting to everyone else's cleverly designed demands on your time and focus.
Okay, this is really compelling. But for listeners hearing this, feeling maybe inspired, but also kind of intimidated by jumping straight to 5 a.m.
Which is totally understandable.
The sources do offer practical, gradual steps, right? You don't have to nail it perfectly tomorrow or you've failed.
Definitely not. Start small, start gradually. The suggested way is to just wake up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do.
Just 15.
Just 15. Commit to that for a week, let it settle, then shave off another 15. Repeat that process until you comfortably hit the 5 a.m. target, or whatever your chosen victory hour start time is.
So you use consistency to build a habit, not just brute force willpower, which often fails.
Exactly. Let the habit build itself slowly.
And preparation is key too, starting the night before.
Oh yeah, massively important. It makes the morning much smoother, less friction. Lay out your workout gear, have your journal and pen ready, pick the book you're going to read, reduce morning decisions.
Makes sense. And the most critical, like practical rule they emphasize.
Do to the root phone, away.
Woo.
Do
Now,
it.
seriously, when that alarm goes off, the phone cannot be within arm's reach. If the first thing you do is grab it and check anything, email, news, social media,
You've lost.
you've immediately let the outside world hijack that precious 60-minute investment window. You have to guard that sacred time like a fortress. Otherwise, the whole system just doesn't work as intended. Protect the investment. And they also stress that this isn't about perfection, right? Missing a day happens.
Absolutely. It's not failure, it's just feedback.
Feedback, okay.
You don't beat yourself up and quit. You just acknowledge it, maybe figure out why you missed it, stayed up too late, forgot to prep, and then you simply get back to the routine the very next morning. Progress over perfection.
That relentless consistency, that commitment, even after slipping up, that's what builds the real muscle, isn't it?
Yeah?
Discipline, creativity, resilience.
Exactly. Every single time you choose to show up for yourself at 5 a.m. or whenever your hour is, it's a small win, a quiet deposit in your mastery account. But like we touched on with the soul set, the philosophy really pushes you to think beyond just self-improvement.
Right, towards legacy.
Towards legacy, the idea is that the strength, the clarity, the discipline you build with this routine isn't just for you. It's meant to generate the kind of personal power and excellence that allows you to contribute more, to uplift others, your family, your team, your community.
So it becomes about outward impact, ultimately.
That seems to be the highest goal.
Okay, so what does this all mean? When you strip it all down, the 5 a.m. club philosophy, it feels like a really powerful method for taking back control, reclaiming ownership of your life and your attention. It's about intentionally carving out that space for deep work on yourself, for mastery, before the chaos of the day hits, choosing deliberate design over just reacting to everything.
Choosing mastery over mediocrity, as they might say.
Right.
So, if we accept that premise, that attention is the new currency, and this early morning habit is the act of aggressively, intentionally investing that currency in yourself before the world demands it, maybe we can leave you, the listener, with a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
Based on everything we've discussed, what specific investment in just one of your 4 interior empires, mindset, heart set, health set, or soul set, will you choose to make first, starting tomorrow morning, to begin building your legacy?
One specific investment. That's a powerful question to consider. Think about that carefully. We really hope this deep dive gave you a solid framework and maybe some inspiration to start rising deliberately. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.